Have you ever wanted to start an Airbnb business but don't know where to start? Well, in this video, I'm gonna break down a beginner's guide on how to actually start an Airbnb business in 11 simple steps. Now, you might be wondering what exactly is Airbnb arbitrage. So to give you guys a simple breakdown, all Airbnb arbitrage is where you are renting a property from a landlord or a property owner, getting their permission to sublease their property and list that property onto websites like Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, and you get to make the difference. For example, let's say if you get a property where you sign a 12-month or 24-month lease and you pay the rent to that property owner $2,000 a month. But let's say you list that property on Airbnb and you have $4,000 of bookings. So now you made $4,000, subtract it from your rent, which is $2,000, plus your operating costs, which is typically your utility fees. Let's say your utility fees was $300. So that's $2,300 in expenses, $4,000 in revenue. Subtract the $4,000 minus the $2,300, and you're left with about $1,700 in profit. So all Airbnb arbitrage is, in simple terms, is you're renting properties from different landlords with their permission. You're not buying a property, and you're able to make the difference just like how I broke it down for you. Now let's dive right into number one. Number one is learning. Just like with any other business, you want to start getting educated about that business model. So for Airbnb, the way you can start getting educated is you can watch YouTube videos just like you're watching this. You can get into courses, you can get into mentorships or coaching programs. It's very important that you're investing your time and money into learning. Number two, you want to set up an LLC. So you can set up an LLC multiple different ways. The easiest way to do it is you can go on websites like Zen Business, InkFile, LegalZoom, and create an LLC within 30 minutes and get that LLC up and running within a week or two. I will also put a link in the description so you can go check it out for yourself. Number three, you want to get business funding that you can leverage 0% business cards to actually do this business without your own money. So the steps in order to do this is you want to open the LLC, you want to go open up a business checking account. The best banks to do it with is going to be Chase or Bank of America. And then as long as you typically have a 680 plus credit score and you have the LLC created and the business checking account, you can now apply for 0% business cards. Now, if you want to learn how you can get over $50,000 of business funding, in the comment section below, make sure you comment funding. That way I can reach out to you on how you can get approved for over $50,000 of business funding. Number four, you want to pick a market that you want to get your first property in. So typically the best market to usually do your first property is going to be in the city that you already live in. So for example, I live in Chicago. One of my first Airbnb properties was in Chicago because I already understood the market, how it is, how the seasonality of this market is. So that's why it's important to pick a market that you already have good understanding with. Number five, you want to start researching and analyzing deals. What I mean by this is you want to go onto websites like Zillow or Trulia and start going for properties that are on for rent. And you want to start looking at different properties that have clean, modern appliances, modern looking units, places that are in the right locations. And you want to start analyzing those deals. And you want to start reaching out to landlords with a proper pitching script. That way you can actually get a landlord to agree to allow you to sublease their property in order for you to list that property on websites like Airbnb. Number six, regulations. You want to make sure before ever getting into a property and signing a lease, you want to go onto Google, type in short-term rental ordinance rules of your city. So for example, I would go on Google, type in short-term rental ordinance rules of Chicago, Illinois, and you're going to find different pieces of information on Google. Go to the right websites in order to find the rules and laws of your local market that you're looking to get your first Airbnb short-term rental property in. Number seven, getting an approval from the landlord or property owner. This is super important because you want to make sure that you're running your property correctly. So make sure that you get the right approval in order to actually sublease that property and list it as a short-term rental. Number eight, you want to furnish and stage your property. So for this, you're going to go out on websites like Amazon, Wayfair, Target, Walmart, and you can use these different websites to go out and furnish your property and then stage the property correctly. That way you can make it look like an attractive property. So when you get the professional photos done, it's gonna be an attractive listing. Number 9, you're gonna hire your team, which is gonna consist of your cleaners, your handyman, your furniture assembler, and your photographer. Your most important person in your team when your business is up and running is gonna be your cleaner, since they're the people that go in and out of the property every time a guest checks in and checks out. Number 10, you're gonna launch your Airbnb as a host. So once you have the pictures back from your professional photographer, you're gonna take that photos, you're gonna launch the listing on your Airbnb profile, and you're gonna set up the right titles, your descriptions, your cancellation policies, your cleaner fees, your automated messages, your automated pricing. Now you have a business that's gonna turn into a passive income stream for you. Number 11, set up automations. So once you have done the 10 steps correctly, automating your business is super important because it's gonna allow you to work on the business to scale your business instead of working in the business. So for example, the way I automate my properties is I have the right automation devices in place. So for example, smart locks, you can have Ring doorbell cameras, you can have minute noise monitoring devices, you can set up your automated messaging for check-in, check-out instructions, booking confirmations. You can automate your pricings using a software tool called Price Labs. So you can automate all these things. That way, every listing that you have, you should only be spending maybe 1 to 2 hours a week. Now, if you found this video useful or found any value, make sure to like and subscribe and comment any questions that you guys have below, and I'll make sure to answer them. Catch you guys in the next video.